Welcome, replay viewers, and good morning, everybody. Good morning here on May 22nd, Monday. Time is about 10:28 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Thank you, Shirley. Thanks very much. Appreciate that. Coastal storm brewing. Well, maybe not a coastal storm, but a rainstorm is brewing. Winds are starting to pick up now. I thought I would just come down here early before the rains start. Check on our purple martins, see how they're doing. And the winds have just started to pick up. I'm looking out toward the south, toward the Atlantic Ocean. And we'll just take a look at the neighbor's flag over here. That's telling me the winds are now about 10 to 12 miles an hour. Let's just zoom in a little bit. Out of the southeast, which is a wind off the Atlantic. Oh, thank you very much. Thanks. Yeah, it's pretty windy here. We're supposed to have heavy rain showers starting within the hour for the remainder of the day. Again, below normal temperatures here on eastern Long Island for this date in May 22nd. I believe it's only about 55 degrees right now, so that's at least 10-12 degrees below normal. Some of the martins are up flying already and feeding, and others are just sitting on their houses. Let's take a look here. Purple martins. Okay, so there's a group of 3 on the perches on this particular house. Oh, there they go, out for a feeding flight. Goes another one. They do that. They stay close to the houses now, and then they'll take off in a small group, go catch their insects for a mid-morning snack. Hopefully, because I don't think they'll be feeding this afternoon with driving rains. So stoke up now. Okay, YouTube. We are hopeful that YouTube is going to incorporate an algorithm for video stabilization, because I'm holding my iPhone 7 here horizontally as steady as I can, but obviously you're still going to get some video bounce or jitter, so please bear with me on that, good people. One of these fine days there'll be a YouTube update which we will incorporate, and that will include video stabilization. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. As you've heard Dutch Mars say, and myself also, we've added in on the comments, that we can stabilize our videos after the fact. Once they're posted on our YouTube channels, we have the ability to do video stabilization there, but then, it takes about 15-20 minutes per video. But what we really need is live broadcast stabilization. So they'll come up with that, I'm sure. Let's take a walk over here to the hoist, which I don't have rigged up yet. I have to put my hoist cable in here and get a small boat down here. But I want to walk over this area and see what our thermometer says as far as temperature here, where we're located. Yeah, it's, what are we saying? About 56 Fahrenheit. About 13-14 Celsius. So it's cool. It's below normal temperatures here. We'll just pan around. All right, so the bird activity is quiet there. Well, there they go. There go a couple more of the close to 4 dozen we have here right now. I don't think we'll be getting any more arrivals with this weather today. The weather warms up during the week. more and more of our migrating birds will be arriving here. And then it'll taper off between June 1st and June 15th. So let's take a walk, see how they are doing with taking nesting material. I check on them daily, make sure everything's okay down here. Oh yeah, okay. This is a tray where I place nesting material, this dry pine straw or pine needles. And I put quite a bit in here last evening, and the birds have taken quite a bit out to refurbish their nests. They fly down here, they grab a pine needle or two, and then they fly up to their cavities, and then they take this material inside and they refurbish the nesting material that's in there already. The brick is to help keep it down so the wind doesn't blow it away. I don't expect the birds to carry a brick. All right, so that's about the morning report here. I'll look out. Thank you. Thank you for your comments too. This is looking at Scenics Creek. We have low tide. And here's Mac the duck resting on the dock. Let me zoom in on him. There's a male and female pair. We call them Mac and Quack. Look at this guy, mallard duck. Windy, yes, it is windy, Shirley, yeah. The breeze is up off the ocean now to the southeast, about 10 to 12 miles an hour. And we should have rainstorms starting within the hour or so. But look at this character just resting down there. Hey, Mr. Duck, Mr. Mallard. I won't go any closer to him because I don't want to spook him and have him jump into the water. We'll just let him rest where he is. Okay. So here's the scene today on Monday, May 22nd at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time here on Eastern Long Island. Before the rainstorms start. And then hopefully the weather will get better by the end of the week because we start Memorial Day weekend, obviously, right? Coming up. And this is basically the start of the summer tourist season for the east end of Long Island, the Hamptons. People will be heading out to the Hamptons and to Montauk. Businesses out there, of course, depend upon the summer trade. This is when we say the east end of Long Island tilts downward, it sinks because of the weight of all the added people from New York City and up the island that come out here for vacation time. A lot of weekenders come from the city, which incidentally, for something if you want to look forward to it, planning, I will be doing live broadcasts this Friday, primarily from West Hampton Beach Railroad Station, where the Long Island Railroad trains arrive. Good morning, David. Good morning to you. And we'll see all of the crowds getting off the Long Island Railroad trains from New York City there Friday afternoon and Friday evening, coming to the Hamptons and Montauk. Now, how big are the crowds? I'll tell you one thing is they run a train called the Cannonball from Penn Station in New York City to Montauk. And it runs express from Penn Station to West Hampton is the first stop. It's about a 90-minute trip. 12 cars. It's probably about 2,000 people on that train on a Friday evening, Friday afternoon. heading to the Hamptons and Montauk for the weekend. So we'll be there to show that action. Hey, and you're awake now, Mr. Duck, Mr. Drake? Mallard there, pretty looking bird, aren't they? There he goes, into the water. Quack, quack. I don't see our resident swan families right now. We have two mute swan families that the eggs hatched this past week, within the past 7 days. One family has a group of 4 cygnets, and the other one I believe was 6, but I believe it's down to 5 now. So one of these fine days we'll be down here, we'll see them swimming by. Purple martins are flying over. Oh, that's a seagull you see there flying. But the martins are flying and they're collecting their morning snack. And it's interesting, you probably can't see the little dots on the screen, but what's happening is they go up about 50, 75 feet above ground level, and they just turn into the wind and they glide. They glide on the wind. They don't even have to flap their wings, as these winds are carrying insects in off the water and off Fire Island. So they're just sitting up there catching their breakfast. And they don't have to work that hard at it by actually flying, but they're actually just soaring in the air like a sailplane. Let's see if I have any action here. Oh yeah, look at this. Let's look up at these guys. Here, I'll get out of the way so I can get both houses in the picture. Here's our group of purple martins. They just came back from a feeding flight. For those of you who are not familiar with this, I'll explain it one more time. Purple martins are North America's largest swallows, and they overwinter in South America. So they are now migrating back to North America, and here on the eastern seaboard, well, to our location right here, which is their home for the summer. It's about a 2.5 month migration from Brazil, primarily Brazil, South America, back to North America. Here in the Northeast, they will be with us for the breeding season now, between now and early to mid-August. And then after the families are raised and fledged, nature calls, and the urge to migrate back to South America starts. And then they take off from here and they go down the East Coast. They island hop across the West Indies to South America, and that's about a 2.5, 3 month migration. And the further and further south they get, the larger and larger the migrating flock gets. So it's like all these little tributaries of birds feed into the river, and then they all fly to South America. You hear all that chirping and everything and going on. Yeah, it is, David. It is windy right now. The winds are picking up. I say about 10 to 12 miles an hour out of the southeast off the Atlantic Ocean. And the temperature right now is only about 56 degrees Fahrenheit. It's about 10 degrees cooler than normal here. We except for some really hot days we had last Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, it was in the 80s. We're running on average about 10 degrees below normal for the month of May here for eastern Long Island. Well, actually, it's always cooler out here than it is, say, in New York City because of our proximity to the Atlantic. And the ocean temperature has not warmed up that much yet. That's probably still around 50 degrees, if that. The ocean won't warm up until late July, August, where it gets up into the high 60s or 70s. So the air temperatures on eastern Long Island are a good 10, 12 degrees cooler than what they would be up island in the metro New York City area. But our buddies are here with us. Purple martin, there you are. Here, there's a... I'll hold this as steady as I can. On that perch is a male, mature purple martin swallow, North America's largest swallow. And he's purple. He looks black or dark there, but it's really an iridescent purple color, which you see pronounced in the sunlight. Alright, I'm sorry, I'm trying to hold this as steady as I can without jitter, but let's zoom out a little bit and let me back up a little bit. So I have 4 of these housing complexes here. Been doing this for about 35 years, hosting purple martins. And we've built up quite a nice colony here of the birds that come back year after year from South America. Notice how tame they are? They're not flying away, and I'm no more than 10 to 12 feet away from them right now. And if I look up at this house, I'm even closer than that. So they know that I'm their guardian here, so they're hanging out. And they're being very quiet right now. I think what they're doing right now is they're waiting for the insects to be blown into them by the ocean breeze, rather than them having to expend energy by flying around looking for flying insects. They haven't started laying eggs or anything yet. That'll probably happen at least another week or 10 days when the temperatures start getting up in the high 60s and on a regular basis, low 70s. Then they will actually start the breeding process. Female will lay 1 egg a day for the duration. Usually they lay 5 to 6 eggs. And then after the last egg is laid, she'll start incubating them. And then it takes about 15, 16 days for the eggs to hatch. So like almost 2.5 weeks. And from that period, for the next 4 weeks, it's non-stop 16-hour-a-day feeding of the babies by the parents. They rotate that. One flies in with insect and feeds, and then the other one's out catching another insect. So the parents really wear themselves out for that 4-week period where they're feeding the little ones inside the nests. So around July 15th or so, we should start see the baby martins starting to fly this year. And with a little luck, we will have, I don't know, between 150 and 200 baby purple martins be born and raised this year. So that's my purple martin update for the year. Listen to me. For the morning. I thank everybody for joining. Thanks for coming aboard on YouTube. As some of you know, I have been doing Periscope broadcasts for about 15 months now, 16 months, whatever it was. And I've always had my YouTube channel. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I've always had my YouTube channel. I've had that since, 12 years, whatever. Got about 900 videos up there. And I've made the decision now. Well, you have a great day too, David. Thank you for joining me. So we're going to do all our live broadcasts now with YouTube Live. I'm switching over I'm going to keep my Periscope archive videos, so they'll be available on the Periscope channel, but all new live broadcasts I'm going to be doing with Periscope Live, as we're doing now. Okay, thanks again, everybody, and just let me pan out here. Well, another 30 seconds or so, and we'll back up a little bit. Show you our 2 Martin houses with the Martins flying. And we'll be talking to everybody again soon. Be back on the air, weather permitting and action permitting. So thank you for joining today. Take care, everybody.